course I had injuries, and no way am I going to sit back and say I didn't. I saw a stat a couple of years ago when they wrote down myself, Rooney, Giggs, Scholes, Gerrard, all these players of sort of that generation. By the time we were all about 22, I'd virtually played double the amount of games in all of them. Yeah, everybody says I was always injured. I played loads when I was younger. So as much as everyone says, oh yeah, he was injured all the time, I still played a heck of a lot of games in my career. So later on in your career, the problem is with my career, I got injured quite a lot late on. I was average later on in my career, so people tend to remember the things that were, more or closer time-wise. So that's that one. Playing too much, getting injured. I mean, a lot of people. It's a fair question, and I really don't know the answer. I mean, the lads would have an opinion as well. All I would say is that yes, you can overplay, I suppose, but in terms of injuries. My dad was a professional footballer for 20-odd years. He had groin problems, he had hamstring problems, he had thigh problems, he had muscle injuries. My brothers are very good footballers, very good athletes. They have terrible trouble with muscle injuries as well. It's just in the family, it's just genetic, it's just, I was born fast. Whether that's good or bad, it was
kind of both. It was good and bad.
It's bad from an injury point. That's just the way I'm made. So in my opinion, I was always going to get muscle injuries, no matter what. But I understand people saying it's because you played a lot, that's why you got a lot of muscle injuries. But I just think I was made to get muscle injuries because of my speed, really.
Let's go back to before injuries did or didn't start to slow you down. 1998 and that goal. What do you remember from that day? Because I remember going with you to St Etienne and talking to you about it, and you were like, yeah, kind of, it was a big deal-ish. And for me, it was massive to stand with you in that stadium. I don't think you could even remember which goal it was you'd scored. Was that not everything to you? You don't think back to that day and remember every little thing that was said or what happened? Or?
No, not really. I think that's, we spoke earlier about, champions, great players, great teams, things like that. In your career, if you're that way inclined, if you're if you want to be the best player, the win everything. I mean, I picked up the Ballon d'Or here, and I just get it off the pitch. We're about to play Derby. I need to score a goal, and Macca passes the ball. It's just relentless. So you rest on your laurels. You start dreaming. Oh yeah, I played a great game there. I scored a great goal there, and all the rest. You're a dreamer. It's the next game that's important, because if you don't score, everyone would have had a go at me, Michael Owen's off the ball or whatever. So I think the people that are really successful for a long period of time, you can shine your medals when you're finished. You can reminisce and say, I can stand there at the side of the pitch and say Etienne with you and think, oh yeah, that was pretty cool actually doing that at 18. I can do it now, that's fine. But at the time, it's what's next? What's next? Where's the next trophy? Where's the next goal? Where's the next performance?
And also, we lost that game that night.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
We were all there, we lost the game. So it was an incredible goal, of course it was, but he scored an incredible goal. But his thought process afterwards was like, how disappointed are we to be leaving the World Cup when actually we should have went through? So you have different mentalities. It's different if you scored that goal and you went on to lift the World Cup. You probably talk about it for every day of your life. But when you lose a game, it's like, right, as he says, let's get home. We need to play again.
And I think, Michael, you started that World Cup, didn't you, on the bench?
Yeah.
And it was a meteoric rise, really. And what he showed, he was such a young player. He just came onto that scene and just it took it by storm, as his career did. I mean, in terms of your career, did you not tear your hamstring? Did you tear the tendon in your hamstring? A horrific injury. Yeah. Was there kind of almost a before and after period where you felt before that? I mean, you were absolutely lightning, weren't you? I mean, I played against you off and off. Did you lose a little bit of that pace then after that, or did you feel the same again? Or was always a concern that it would go on you?
Yeah, I mean, once I did it once, I was gone really. I mean, I changed my game. You'll know, you played against me. Played with Macca for obviously many years, but I went from being someone that scored goals like I did against Argentina.
Express train,
yeah, beating players, as you say. I was quick, I was running in channels, I was crossing the ball, that was me, that was how I was. For the last 6-7 years of my career, I just turned into the only thing I could. I was petrified of running in a
sprinting,
channel. I just knew I was going to tear a muscle, so I And the worst thing about it all is your instinct says what you've always done all your life. I was bred to be a footballer. Every time he gets the ball there, I know what he's thinking, I know what I'm thinking, and you do it. Worst thing ever is Macca gets the ball, and then I think, oh no, you can't, don't. Come off short.
Yeah.
And it's just...
You've lost your wings, haven't you?
You've lost everything. So all I did at the end of my career for 6-7 years, I hated it. I couldn't wait to retire for most of my, for the back end of my career, because I wasn't me. So all I was doing is coming short, linking play, get in the box, and just using my instinct.
Did you enjoy it still?
Well, I could still score. I had an instinct of where the ball was going to go, and I could finish. So I just used to rely. So ended up, everyone just used to think, well, Michael Owen's a great goal scorer, but didn't really do much else.
You lost that magic then. You lost that cutting edge.
Physically, I couldn't do it. Mentally, I could do it, but physically, I just couldn't.
It's horrible to still want to do it, but just your body just simply doesn't let you.
And you know what's even worse is that I explained how it felt when someone like Macca got the ball, and my immediate reaction is do this, and then split second is no, you can't, just go short. The worst thing is you then get into a rut whereby you don't even put yourself in a position to be able to run. So you actually then go and stand in areas where you shouldn't even be. But I think to myself, if I stand on the last man, Macca will expect me to run and if I don't, he's going to have a go at me and say, why are you running?
Why are you there?
So then, at the end of my career, I wasn't even standing in those positions. I was going into places where he'd look at me and think, the option of running's not there now. So
do you allow
I was
yourself
thinking
to think?
I was thinking of going in wrong positions. It's like,